especially from other countries, is a big opportunity for me. So um, I'm doing this not because I would like to earn more. Uh, Presently, I am comfortable already, and but I know, I know that if I learn something, I will gain more.
I'm undergraduate college student, and my course is accountancy. I have frustration because here in the Philippines, when you are not graduate, you don't have chance to uh, work in an accounting firm. So my frustration when I watch the video about the tax agent when I join in a accounting people's group, I said uh I said to myself that I can do it even though I'm not graduate in accounting. I can improve myself po kahit even though po na hindi ako graduate ng accounting here in the Philippines. And I said to myself po na kaya ko to kahit na international yung accounting na pag-aaralan ko. Then, when I was in college, kasi I know nung time na yun na hindi ako makakagraduate because of financial. Then, tumatak sa isip ko na, okay, meron pang pag-asa, not here in the Philippines. But kahit nandito ako sa Philippines, I can work in US, I said to myself. Then, noon, I always checking my online job. Nag-rate ako online job way back 2014 na sa platform na yun. But hindi ako nag-apply kasi I know na I'm not yet skilled. And then nung sabi ko, I always praying na, Lord, kapag nagka-family ako, okay lang po ba na I can work from home kasi I don't want to raise my child ng malayo sa kanya. And then nung after ko manganak, I got job na tumulong sa akin yung best friend ko nung college na naipasok niya ako sa international accounting din siya, but through her po tinanggap ako kahit hindi ako graduate. And then sabi ko, ito na yung start na pwede ko na i-upskill yung sarili ko. And then I tried din po na mag-apply online job na kasi meron na akong konting confidence na mag-bookkeeping. And then nakakuha ako, nagulat ako kasi ang mga nakikita kong testimony sa Facebook na more months or years sila bago sila nakakuha ng client. Then nagulat po ako, nakuha ko months pa lang. And nung time na yun, struggling din po ako pero nakuha ko yung client na yun. Then sobrang thankful ko habang sobrang tinreasure ko yung client na yun kahit low rate lang siya kasi gusto ko talaga magkaroon ng experience. Then sabi ko, meron na akong budget to enroll. Akala ko hindi ko siya makakompleto kasi dumating yung year end doon kung saan ako nag-work. Sobrang tight ng schedule. Sobrang hindi ko alam kung yung pagod ko kasi syempre puyatan sa work tapos meron pa tayong training. Yun nga, ko pa rin na makahabol ako sa mga assignments kahit na late na yung mga iba kong submit. Then yun, thankful ako nung last na video call with Miss I, sinabi niya sa akin na pwede pang makahabol nga yung kay Miss Juliet. Hindi ako nawalan ng pag-asa nung sabi ko makagraduate din ako dito. Then ayun nga, na nakasama ako sa graduation. Thank you. Thanks Joe for your courses. Sobrang helpful po talaga para sa amin na gusto mag-upskills and sa mga beginners po na katulad po. Thank you very much, Joe. And for the team po.
Hi, I joined the Bedrock because of the opportunity and because I'm a nurse and a pharmacist. I really don't have an accounting background. I just took bookkeeping. And then when I saw that Bedrock is offering to become a tax preparer, I've been searching on another platform where others took their certificate from Bedrock. So I Googled it. And then 2 days before the start of the class, I joined immediately without thinking because I want to earn and I want to learn more. And this is an opportunity for me, and I am actually looking forward to learn more from Bedrock. So I will be enrolling into other courses because I also want to be a part of Bedrock.
I just want to express my deepest gratitude to Bedrock team for the knowledge, for the guidance and support you have provided us throughout the payroll course. As someone who has no background in accounting, I really had a hard time, but the way you made the topics accessible and engaging, and you always ensure that we understood the material thoroughly. The knowledge I've gained from this course is not only theoretical but also practical. I am especially thankful for your patience and encouragement, Joe, which have motivated me to strive for excellence.
This course is not a walk in the park. It needs true dedication and the resolve to, to finish it and see it through. So I had to muster all courage. And, it is a milestone, and I am very proud of what we have accomplished. It's not really easy, but you can see that before I thought that I will not be able to do this. I thought this is a very hard work. I thank Joe for opening this opportunity to us Filipinos. All of us will become successful, of course, with God's help, and I congratulate you all also.
I just want to thank you, Joe, and everyone. So thank you so much for the opportunity, the hustle while doing it, the researching, the headache while we plot the Excel file, the Google Sheet. It was all worth it, knowing that I got the certification and I also graduated in this batch. So yeah, I'm looking forward to the tax course, the upcoming tax course. Yeah, more headaches and students to come. Thank you so much, guys.
One of the things I've learned is to be resourceful and be confident, even if you don't know, research and ask questions. Thank you for Joe and the Bedrock team for really opening this course to us. It's a great opportunity for us to learn and get like a hands-on experience to do payroll tasks in a US setting.
All right. Good morning, everyone. How's everybody? Pwede ba tayo mag-Tagalog? Madam Luz? Hi, Ellen and Bedrock team, accounting peoples. Yan. Sino pwede sa atin mag-open ng camera kahit umaga? So, okay lang ba mag-antay pa tayo ng konting saglit? So, medyo nampostpone yung dapat na speaker natin. So, for today, we're going to review how to optimize your profile and online jobs. Kung sino may problem sa applications, bigyan ko kayo ng tips. LinkedIn, online jobs, saka Upwork yung tuturo natin. Pero let me know kung anong gusto nyong mauna. Sige, pa-type naman kung sino yung gustong, anong topic yung gusto nyong mauna while waiting for others. Start tayo 9:10. LinkedIn, sige. How about others? Anong gusto nyong mauna natin? Online jobs, Upwork, or LinkedIn? Sa kayo nagkaka-problem on getting clients? Online jobs, sige, Joanne. Sidek, online jobs. OLJ. Sige. Okay. Ate, so walang Upwork kasi mahal si Upwork eh. Ayoko din kay Upwork. Pero tuturuan ko lang kayo ng tips din. Huli natin si Upwork. Sige, online jobs and LinkedIn. So, okay. Sige, mukhang marami sa online jobs. Sige, online jobs. Ito ko nakuha sila Joe si Bedrock. Last January. Hi, Joe. Are you here? Good morning.
I'm here, yeah. Sorry.
It's okay. Now, I'm just asking them because I informed them that our speaker for today has moved his schedule, but he will still be available in the next session. But for today, we're going to teach on how to optimize your profile from Upwork, online jobs, and LinkedIn. All right. So I told them just type in what's their preferred platform to get clients. I told them online jobs, I get Bedrock through online jobs. So, and
Well,
all of my first, yeah. Yes.
Yeah,
Go ahead, Joe.
you and Luz and a bunch of other people, but let's first identify the difference between a client and a job. Because you were
Yep.
applying for a job, right? That
Yes.
was a full-time position, and there is a big difference.
Yeah.
So when I started posting jobs, Larry had me put in the secret word, right? And that was to vet out the people that were just copying and pasting. Just, putting out as many, applying for as many jobs as they could. And we don't want that. We don't want people that are just blindly looking for positions. So that was, my end. So from your end, what do you do when you're
Applying.
searching? Yeah. Like, do you
Yes.
put any actual thought into it? Because there's a lot of people that are just, I just need a job. I just need a job.
Yeah, good question. So when I started freelancing that time, I mentioned that I have no idea as well. What is bookkeeper? Actually, in Filipino, there's no bookkeeper. We just call it accounting assistant. So bookkeeper is also new to me when I started. But when I researched the bookkeeper task, it's for me at that time my first impression is just data encoding, data entry. So if you're a newbie, I've realized you have to identify your existing skills that you can offer right or immediately. For example, if you're doing admin assistant, payables, receivable. So that time I was so sure that I can do the payables because I've been into payables for such I think 7 years. So even though I've realized you don't have the meaning of unlearn to learn. So you have to start from scratch, as in zero. Your title is nothing. Even you're in the Philippines, I remember Ma'am Agnes is sorry to say Ma'am Agnes is so that's she has a higher position in the Philippines whenever Miss no, don't mention that I am like that. So yeah, because in the Philippines there's a position, but in freelancing you're the same level. You start from scratch. So then I realized bookkeeper is my first actually data entry is the first application that I did in online jobs. Because my first job is data encoder. So I want to start from scratch somewhere, a minimal task that I can do. So data encoder, then eventually bookkeeper. Then later on, when I get a search button in online jobs, there's a bookkeeper. It will show all the applications, all the hiring. Then next is accountant. Next is sometimes CFO, finance manager. And that's why I realized there's a lot of application in bookkeeper. That's the time I decided to to become a tax preparer. So that's the hierarchy that I can share to you how I did my journey on freelancing.
So at first, were you just looking for a job because you needed money?
Yeah, I don't want to work in a corporate anymore.
Okay, so you were like actually going to a physical job
Yes.
and then you found out about freelancing.
Yeah, because back then, 2021, I'm working in a corporate March 2021, and after it's already pandemic, right? It's on and off. So they decided I'm also a COVID patient that time. I having a fever 2 weeks. So I need to work from home. Then I realized it's possible. You can do hybrid. That's why when I come back to the office, I told my boss I want to resign because although I'm doing already freelancing and side gig, then I told my boss it's working, so why should I go to the office? And then I handed my resignation by August.
So wait, you quit before you even had work?
I have already worked existing client
Oh, you
July,
did. You did already have
full
work.
time EST July
So
2021,
2021, that wasn't that long ago.
3 years ago.
Yeah, so you starting from, you didn't even really know what freelancing was.
Yes, I don't know. As in
Wow.
zero.
I think you've come a long way.
No.
So,
Working
no,
on
this is
progress.
good because, you know, so we had a team meeting the other night about Jumpstart. And Mariko asked me, and this is what everybody should be doing when they when they start a business, you have to answer three questions. What problem do you solve? Who do you solve it for? And how do you solve it? Right? So Mariko said, well, who are we targeting with Jumpstart? So we actually had to do a deep dive into, what problem are we solving? And what we came up with, Marianne and everyone else, is that the problem is that people don't really know about freelancing still, and they don't know what the options are. And it sounds like that's where you were, right? You just found out about freelance because, like a lot of other people, you found out about it because of COVID, right?
Yes, and again, that's why I'm always vouch the community because that's where I started. Just looking for a FP group that how to start freelancing. That's it.
And then you found John Pagalion, right?
Yes, and that time it's what's the other name? There's a one guy also existing the FB group. I forget the surname. Yeah, but he's also doing a Monday free webinar how to start freelancing. He call it Monday motivation. So every
Oh,
night
yeah.
he's do live webinar and then
So
he's
what happened to you, and this is the first time that I'm learning about this, what you went through is what we were just talking about with the team. I said, people, they just find out about freelancing. Now you gotta like you're now, and when you did it, there wasn't probably as many options as there are now. I know there wasn't Bedrock and there
yeah,
wasn't Jumpstart. So it's like you're in a sea and you're searching, like, what is this? What are my options, right?
yes.
And you went
Google
all the
is
way
mutual.
Google. You didn't even have Chat GPT then. So you're saying, okay, and you went right up the ladder. So from data entry to bookkeeping to accountant, and then somehow you went all the way up to CFO and tax preparer, right?
Yes.
So
Last is the tax enroll
that's a
agent. Taxer and then enroll agent. Now USCPA. So it's a ladder of there's a
you
ladder
you have
of
an accounting
career path.
degree. You have an accounting
Yes.
degree, right?
I'm an accountant, yeah.
Okay. So now you're deciding, okay, what do it, because you with everything with in business, you really got to focus. You got to otherwise you're just throwing a dart at a board hoping that you hit a bullseye, and it usually doesn't work out too well. So the first thing you got to decide is, do you want to be a tax preparer? Do you want to be a CFO? Does that sound
Yes.
right? So how did you decide? Because I think that you're still deciding.
Until now. But yeah, it's everyday learning process. It's not, one overnight success like everybody thought. When everybody thought your achievement is this already, I told them no, I'm still working on progress. I'm still learning until now. I'm still,
Me,
Jones knows that I'm lost sometimes. That's why what I'm going to
me
do. But
too.
that's the good thing of having a community and a coach. That's the important thing. One of the tips of being successful, I remember I always tell them one key to become successful is to have a coach and a mentor has been doing been there than that. Yeah.
Yes.
So yeah.
So all right. So you find out that first you find out you can work from home, right? That
Yes.
that must have been like, oh my God, how come nobody told me this before? All right, because
Yeah. 10 years ago I didn't know if I
it's
knew it.
it's freedom. It's freedom, and then you realize, man, I wish I can go back to my job
Yeah.
sometimes, because that's what
Yeah.
happened with me. It was like, oh my God, I could actually do this from home, and then my wife thought I was available to run errands, pick up the kids, go shopping. So I had to, you know, draw boundaries. Okay. Uh, Hi, Liz. How are you? So Luz knows now, when she started working from home, she has her little sidekick there all the time, right? So yeah, so for me, it was, oh, this is great. I could work from home. And then it was like, at one point, I actually went and opened up an office because it was, there were a lot of things going on in my house. I had three little kids. My mother-in-law was there all the time, and I had to start hiring people. That was really, I said, I can't have people coming into my house and my kids are over there. It's not a good way to run a business. But that was a different story. But so yeah, the first step is realize
Identify. Mhm.
you could work from home, right?
Next
And
is
then,
identify your skills. They call it transferable skills because most of the newbies, they always ask, I already worked in corporate for how many years? How could I start? I don't know where to start. So we have, again, I always tell them, what is your why for working from home? Because it's totally different from working corporate because they saw there's they're earning six digits because that's the the selling point of some people transitioning. But six digits, it's achievable, but it will take time and you have to sacrifice the time and your sanity. Yeah, disclaimer, because if you have a lot of money, the next is you don't have a time, you're being burned out. So there's a lot of things that you will experience. That's why we're having this kind of community to guide you what really works for you. So what, yeah,
well, for you, so I think it's a little bit different now because when you started, you really didn't have anybody to guide you, right?
yeah,
I mean, you had John Pagalion's group, but that was broad. That was, become a freelancer, and that meant, you can become a graphic designer, you can be a virtual assistant. Wasn't really, you know, somebody with accounting skills didn't have
typically,
like a
yeah,
Jumpstart or a Pinnator
yes,
or accounting
graduate.
people. So, uh, so the first realization is, hey, I can actually work from home. And now I would think, especially, people that are already accountants, already in corporate, they're going to start looking for an accounting job, right? Similar to what they were doing. Does that make sense?
Yes, yes. But again, it's totally different. The first thing that I realized is the resume. I've also encountered the same problem when I send my resume to one of the agency from the accounting firm. I send the Microsoft Word format, and the HR told me, can you change that into Canva? And then I realized, what's this Canva? I don't know, July
Oh,
20, that's why June. So then I changed that into Canva. I've learned how to use Canva. I don't know how to put my picture at the right side. And then I just edit it color orange or peach because that's my favorite color. Then I make it 1 to 2 page only instead of 4 pages from the
yeah.
Microsoft Word. So one, I realized that first you have to really make your Canva a PDF format and yeah, Canva PDF format and send to the client.
And that's really where you got to start communicating. Communicating is a lot of different things, but so I know for me, it's frustrating because number one, you're getting a lot of resumes. And I want to differentiate between a cover letter, a CV, and a resume. Because if you look it up, a CV isn't what I want to see. Okay. A CV, I think, is for like a professional, what do they call? it's more of like a what do you call it? Like a graphic designer wants a CV where they put all of their you know, I'm at a loss for words right now. All of their work that they've done. But for me, I want a resume which is really one, even 2 pages might be too much. I want to see a 1 page summary, right? Is that what you did? Because I get, you know, these CVs and they're way too long. And so you got to put yourself in the position of the people that are
Yes.
hiring you. And here's the thing. So and we're talking about if you're looking for a full-time remote working position. I don't have time to go through a 4-page CV. Okay. I don't have time to go through 100 or 200 job postings. So you want to keep it short. Yeah, you want to make it appealing, right? You want to make it nice. You want to have that headshot so people can connect with you right away. You said you put it at the top, right?
Left, yes, left side, the pictures. Because
Why?
before Microsoft Word, it's in the right. Because in the Philippines, you have to pick, to stapler your pictures or paste it on the right side, the picture, the 2x2, then the Microsoft Word. It's old way.
So did you get a professional headshot or did you just
Yes.
take a camera?
A professional on the studio.
How much did that cost you?
Around 180 pesos.
Okay. Because it can, I think as a foreigner, I go into these places and the 150 pesos becomes 15,000 pesos. Yeah. So that's reasonable. 150 pesos for a professional headshot. And now, who did anyone coach you on how to design the resume, like what to put there?
No one. Until I changed my resume. I can show you my resume, the existing resume that I have if you want. But again, let's go to the first. There's unlearn to learn, zero background. And then assess your skills, what to apply, and then choose a platform where you can send your application. So I've only choose 5 platforms. There's 99
I didn't
jobs
know there were
site.
5 platforms.
Yeah, online jobs, Upwork, Fiverr, Freelancer, and there's Outsourcely.
Oh, I
I've
didn't think about Fiverr.
Fiverr, Freelancer, but some of them are paid subscription. So when you're newbie, it's not advisable. That's why I don't encourage for newbies the Upwork. It will eat a lot of your
Yeah.
money because you have subscriptions and you have to bid. So online job for me is the best platform. Next is LinkedIn and FB group. But let's focus on online jobs. So after that, I create an online account on online jobs, just the normal newbie. Then I remember there's a ID proof there. I've started on only 50% ID proof. And then I look for other candidates. Why their online jobs is 99% ID proof. I want to be like 99% ID proof. So I follow the instructions, some questions. There's some tests, personality test, the grammar, and the DIS personality test. I think Tony Robbins personality test. So it's there.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. So
You
you
know,
have
when I pick people to talk to, I look at that. I definitely look at the score. So if you had a 50,
yeah.
I'm not even talking to you.
Yeah, it's ID proof. It's like a verification of your real identity. That's why it's so
Right.
important. That's why I'm so eager that time to make it 99. So I make it 99, and from there I started applying. And just like the normal applicant, you have to undergo an email that you are invited for initial interview, a final interview, and some assessment. So it's a mix of direct client and agency that time. So
Do
yeah,
you
that's
know, because I hired a couple of telemarketers, and what I see is when I get a response, they have some kind of score, and I don't even know what that is. It's like, and it's it doesn't even matter to me because I'm like, I don't even know what this means. So you know what I'm talking about?
I don't know the score.
It's some kind of like it says higher score or something. I don't know. They're giving them some.
Maybe it's like a job success on Upwork. There's a job
I,
success rate.
I think it's something like that. Or maybe if there's somebody that just posts 100, resumes an hour, they get a lower score.
Yeah.
But anyway, okay, so you went from, newbie, you don't know anything. Now you actually, and I think you said something that's important. You went and saw what other people are doing, right?
Mhm. Until now, I'm still doing the way I teach how to apply because I want to know how the employer what is really the employer needs to get the frequently asked question. What is the how to answer the interview.
Okay, so
So
let's get to that. So at first, were you finding it hard to get interviews?
yes, I have a one accounting firm that I really, really want. I still have the name, I think Karen, and accounting firm. And then he asked me to send a Loom video that time. So I try my best. I'm not so confident on that Loom, but I came to the final interview, but I didn't get the job. Yeah, because for me that time, working in accounting firm is my first stepping stone to test the water.
Was that your
Accounting,
first exposure to like a Loom video, doing video?
yes, that accounting firm asked me to create a Loom, and that time I'm so newbie on the Loom. I'm so nervous. I have buckle on how to say it, and then I researched and how to really do the Loom videos. That's why I always share it how important is the Loom.
It is.
So there's some I have a tips that sometimes the Filipino culture is doing. Can you type the word what it is? What is the culture of the Filipino when doing an interview and the do's and don't. The don't. Can you type don't if you want to know what's the don't? This is the one thing I've realized. Yeah. So don't ever, yeah, share your personal informations or anything personal like how many siblings you are, kids, whatever it is, because I put in the Loom videos like that. Yeah, we're four in the sibling, we're living in Batangas, I have a son. They're not interested on that. Even interview, when you tell me about yourself, it does necessarily mean tell me your personal thing. That's don't X to employer. They just want to know, tell me about yourself. I realized the past, present, and the future. Or sometimes some information that doesn't indicated on your resume. So some client, they will ask, what is the thing that it doesn't indicated on your resume? So past experience. So when I realized the format, past, present, future, I perfect the Loom videos. Even I can close my eyes, I can pitch all over again. How? Tell me about yourself. Because in the interview, the client will tell after he said the company profile, oh, yan. I already finished what I'm looking for, my company profile. How about you? Tell me about yourself. So when they
Yeah,
say tell
so
me about yourself, that's
so when an interviewer asks you that, there's a good reason. They don't know what else to ask you.
yes.
So believe it or not, most people doing the interview, they're as uncomfortable as you are. I don't like interviewing people, okay? Because number one, I don't know what to ask them. And you know, so try to put yourself in their shoes. So one thing I think that Marianne got is she figured out, hey, they're all going to ask me, tell me about yourself, right? So how do you
Yes.
handle that?
So yeah, that's why you build your confidence because I practiced already. So it seems like the client feels the confidence on the other Zoom call. So the client needs someone who can rely on. So if they feel you're not confident enough to handle the books or talk to them, that's also a big factor. That's why some of uh the applicants, I know they're, qualified, expert, they're CPA, there's a lot of credentials. They know they can do the work, but somehow there's a gap between the client and the applicant. So you have to be connected to the client in a way that the client wants someone. At the end of the day, I can talk to the communication. We always do reminding that Jack told us communication doesn't necessarily mean English. Someone understand and know what exactly the deliverables or solving their problem. So yeah, so maybe that's the best tip I've realized for the past years. That's why some they know me that I can easily get clients or connect with people, even CEO. You know what I mean? Every
Yeah,
CEO, every company.
absolutely. You know, when I hired Luz, I wasn't even interested in knowing how much accounting she could do. She got through that when because I didn't look at the resumes. You know, we had Elizabeth going through the resumes, so I didn't. When she got to me, I assumed that she already knew accounting, and I knew whatever she didn't know about US because I knew she didn't know about US taxes, but I knew I could teach her that, right? So I wasn't interested in her technical skills. Does that make sense? Not that I wasn't interested. By the time I was talking to her, she already passed that level. Because if she didn't have the skills listed on her resume, she wasn't getting an interview, right? So by the time she comes to me, I'm looking for a person, not an accounting robot. And a person has to be able to communicate. And you put it perfectly, Marianne. You put it, I need somebody that's going to be able to talk to my clients and put them at ease, right? They have to be able to communicate. And when I say communicate, and you said it, it doesn't mean I expect them to speak perfect English. Okay. I want somebody that's going to listen to my client, hear them, and be able to provide a solution. And even if it's not an immediate solution, you know, Elizabeth used to have a comeback for that. I'll get back to you. I hear what you're saying. Let me get back to you. Does that make sense?
Yes.
So what I love about your technique is you already know the questions they're going to ask you, right? And one of them is, you know, tell me about yourself. And I'm just telling you, when somebody asks you that, you are in control. You just got control of the interview.
Yeah.
So
That's
what other questions are they going to ask you?
actually some of the background. What is your background, especially on their job post? So that also the tips when you're applying. Before I just apply. I'm not reading all the job description. So you have to be specific At least if there's a 10 job description or responsibility, make sure 8 out of 10 or 7 out of 10 you can do it. And the rest you have to tell them, because I realized that also some of them are afraid to apply because they saw you have to learn tax, US tax. I told them no. You just have to really it's an add-on service. So at least you tell them, that's why we're having free courses or courses in the community, because it is something you can uh learn afterwards. But we told them, just I'm still learning. I've just researched how to be an enrolled agent, tax preparer. This is the process, but I'm planning to enroll soon. Given a chance, why not? You just tell them that you have a plans of upskilling, but it doesn't necessarily means you have to be knowledgeable in US tax, because Joe knows that, and Luz knows that US tax is a long, long way to learn, because every year there's a changes. But at least the basic W-2, 1099, at least the form 1120, 1045, LLC, S Corp. So if you know this language, basically you can catch the attention, especially the US clients. So that's it. So that's why we're having a continuous learning in a way that the client will feel that you are valuable and you have something to offer to them.
So this is, and I'll tell you the truth, for decades, literally for decades, I didn't know how to hire people. I didn't know who to hire. Okay, it turned out I was hiring people that were just like me, and that's a problem.
Me too.
That's yeah.
I want
So,
everybody to be hard just like me, but
but
there's no Joe.
well, I wanted somebody that was entrepreneurial, that saw the big picture, that wanted to, grow a business. And no, that's not always, I mean, it's okay to have those, those ambitions, but that wasn't who I should have been. I should have been hiring people that could do stuff that I couldn't do.
True.
People that had a skill set that I didn't have. But and when I hired Larry, it was really a turning point in my business and my life. And what he said, and this is how Lou's got the job. He said, you want people with capacity, and that means people that have the ability to grow, people that want to learn, right? And you said that. So when we're hiring people, when we're looking for people, we want somebody that, hey, I'm really hungry for knowledge. I'm learning this. I want to learn more. I want to learn US taxes. And yeah, the thing about becoming an enrolled agent, if I was interviewing somebody, and I'm thinking about this, if they told me they were studying to become an enrolled agent, I'd be like, okay, how much? They already got the job. Because that would be shocking for a lot of accounting firms. Most it was shocking for me to find out that you didn't have to be a US citizen. Okay, so what else? So now you've nailed the interview. How
Yeah,
do
so
you close
yeah.
it? How do you close the interview?
So let's do the recap. So assess your skills, create your resume, at least 1 to 2 pages. Choose a platform, 1 to 2 platform that you're comfortable with. Complete all the requirements and start looking for a job. And then attach the Loom videos. Actually, the first one is the Loom videos. That's why, again, I highly encourage. Then certificate, then my resume. So that's the flow of my applications. So that's it. And
Yeah,
then
and I'll add this. You have to make it easy. You have to make it easy for the person looking at you. So I had, believe it or not, I had web designers applying for a position with me recently, and they didn't put a link to their work. And a couple of them said, "Oh, I don't know how to put a link in here." I said, "If you're a web designer and you can't figure out how to put a link to your work, I'm not hiring you, because now they're costing me time. They're costing me time." So you got to make it easy, and attaching the Loom video right away, that would be big. That would be big. So okay, so that's, newbies that are just looking for a position. Luz, would you like to add anything to this? Because I know Luz's story and what she went through, and uh it's not easy. It's got to be scary for somebody, especially, somebody that was in your position. You had a stable job, you were there for a long time, and now you're like, I want to do something new. So what was that like for you?
We call it the comfort zone. Somebody should go out in the comfort zone, because if you go out to the comfort zone, it's so big opportunities. If you just knew what is the big opportunities, the ocean of opportunities for accountant, I think that's the thing that you should focus. How can I swim on that big ocean? I want to survive. I want to be on those shark someday. So maybe I'm just a baby fish, a goldfish, or maybe become Nemo or someone or shark or a Joe, the movie of the Joe in the movie. So you want to be a shark and swim and help those baby sharks someday to swim.
So Luz, can you share what it was like for you? Like how did it feel when you first started?
This is driving. This, where are you?
Oh, Luz is driving?
I don't know. Yeah. This, where are you? Yeah.
I'm here in the house. Actually, at first, I just realized uh, with this kind of work, I realized that it's really up to us. Regardless if you're CPA or not, college graduate or not, it depends upon the attitude of the person. If you really like something, no one can stop you. That's the only key to be successful in this kind of uh job. As I read Pagulayan's post, I think 2 days ago, and that's true. It's not easy, but it's all worth it. Because I'm the type of person, if I have that character that I'm already comfortable in this place, I don't wanna go somewhere. But when you get tired, you're not happy anymore. You just need one strong reason. But if you really like it, it's really possible. It's our number one enemy is ourselves. That's true. So I think regardless of you're not CPA, even high school graduate, if you just uh, attend online courses, there's free, there's paid, and join group like Jumpstart group and Yanyan's group. You can learn from those uh, groups. So uh, it's really hard for me because I'm introvert, but I have that, I'm just makulit when I'm comfortable with people, but I have also, I'm not really confident with my English and how I speak. But that time, during my interview with Joe, I try to make sure that I look smart by having a background of lots of books, because my husband is a doctor, so he has lots of books. So I intentionally put my screen, and at my back there are all books. I think it helps with
Oh yeah, that's important.
yeah, and also these. So for the beginners, don't meet your client or your attend your interview with lots of laundry at the back or bed, or make sure if the place is not presentable, just use what do you call this, like virtual background instead. You have to be look, and I wear a coat just to look um
Professional.
professional. And before I attend the interview, I research about Bedrock. So you can,
Yes.
when you talk to the employer, they'll see that it's a green flag that this applicant is already researching about. And I asked a lot of questions to Joe, like, what are the services? Those are the things that I was not able to research in the internet. I asked him. So that's what I did during the interview.
Yeah, and that's why you nailed it. And Rebecca, I'm gonna use this quote: "Flex your books." But you're right. Listen, the books, it's the virtual background is better than having your laundry behind you, but having that library, that subconsciously is telling me, hey, this woman's a book reader. And another thing that Larry said is we want to find leaders. You can't grow a business without people that are going to lead other people. And there's a saying, not all readers are leaders, but all leaders are readers. So yeah, if you mention to me that, oh yeah, I'm reading this book, I'm reading that book, that's going to get my attention. Okay. Uh, the what else did you say? Oh, the research, Luz. Nobody got a position with Bedrock that didn't ask questions. And I say this all the time in our classes. I say it, when we have somebody like Jack Cantos or Larry at the end of the workshop, does anybody have any questions? And all the time, almost 100% of the time, there's silence. You gotta learn how to ask questions, because the people that are asking the questions stand out. And for the American entrepreneur, if you want to get them, you want to ask them questions about their business. You want to say, listen, I was on your website and I'm really impressed by the fact that you do blah, blah, blah. Or what made you specialize in this? And also, where am I going to fit in? Like, who am I going to work with? You want somebody that's going to ask you questions. Because if you get me to talk about myself, I'm hiring you. I'm hot. And I don't know about the rest of the world, but I know American entrepreneurs love to talk about their business. They want you to ask them, how did you get into this business? Why this business? And if they start telling you their life story, you got the job. You got the job. So the other thing that came up in our team meeting, I said there's three questions. What problem do you solve? And number two, who do you solve it for? So I came up with a list of 4 avatars. Number one, people with absolutely no experience. People that didn't even know, like Marianne and Luz, that you could actually work from home. And yeah, Luz, you made another good point. You don't even need a high school diploma to become a tax preparer. You don't need a college degree. A lot of people don't know that. You don't even need a college degree to become an enrolled agent. So you could start with absolutely no experience and no formal education. I've had people contact me a couple of times uh, that were high school students. Okay. I'm still in high school. Can I still do this? I was like, absolutely. I was in high school when I decided to become a CPA. And then one of the first things I did was, in my high school, they had a bookkeeping class. So I was already on my journey. So the first target are people that have absolutely no experience, just like my mother. Okay. My mother was 65 with no experience. Now I know, Marianne, I think that you talked about the culture, the Philippine culture. And one of the shocking things to me is that it's mandatory retirement when you're 65. So right away, I think the people are brought up thinking that, oh, when I'm 65, my career is over. That's not true. My mother is proof of that. And there's plenty of other people in the US that they start new careers. One of our targets are career women, people that worked in corporate their whole lives, and now they want to start their own business. So that's one of the problems that we solve. We're like, listen, we need to educate people that you don't need experience and you're never too old. You're never too old. I remember Marianne, Sir George, right?
Yes, 60 plus or 60 plus. Yeah.
Well, he was the first one he asked me two questions. He said, I'm in my 60s and I'm sick.
Mhm.
Should I still, would you hire me? That's what he asked me. And I said, absolutely. I said, the fact that you told me that you're not well shows me character. It shows me character. And the fact that you're 60, I said, you're younger than me. You're younger than me. So if you're too old, then I must be too old too. So you're never too old. The second level are people like Luz, people that are career, brick and mortar, and now they want to work from home. They want to be a freelancer. And then there's the people, I know I'm skipping one. I know there were four. Luz, maybe you could help me out with this, but there were four. So there's the people with no experience. There's the people that were career people like Luz
Wants
that
to
just want to work from home. Go ahead, Liz.
add the four targets of the Jumpstart. Yeah,
Yeah.
those remote job worker who wants to be a freelancers.
Yeah, that's the fourth. So you have people like Marianne, so she already, became a remote worker. So let me make a distinction here. A remote worker loses a remote worker. She's not a freelancer. She works for Bedrock. She can be doing freelancing on the side. I don't know, but a freelancer is somebody like Marianne that has multiple clients. Okay. Oh, now I remember. Okay. So there's the people with no experience. Okay. Then there's the people like Luz that have some experience, but they're working in corporate and they want to work from home. Then there's the people that have a remote position, but they want to become a freelancer. And then there's the people like Marielle and Juliet that already have an agency and want to get into the US market. So those are the four avatars that we are looking for. Okay. So Marianne, now you're a remote worker. How did you transition into freelancing? Because now
Yeah.
you're not just looking for jobs on online jobs, right? Now you're looking for clients.
Yeah, so yeah, correct. So after two different things. Remote worker, which is renting 8 hours, and then there's a freelancer you can do project based or flexibility when it comes to work. Especially there's some client who just needs to deliver some reports or some small projects. That's freelancing, and there's no time tracker or there's no report needed. Just proactive on communication. So I think that's freelancing, and especially for those other skills like SMM. video editor, that's you can do freelancing on that kind of niche. So for bookkeeper, it's also possible, especially for those tax preparer, because sometimes tax preparer you just have to finish the preparation and that's it. As long as they can finish, do the due diligence, submit the work, you can do it flexible. So I think tax preparer is one of the thing that you can do freelancing for me, for the trend and market that I'm seeing. And then yeah, so I get clients now through LinkedIn, FB group, and referrals. So, but again, it takes a lot of work to do that because client come and go. Again, that's the downside of the freelancing. We don't have to sugarcoat these things. Client come and go. Notes show that me myself experienced that the next in the morning the client will disengage in the contract, they ghost you. That's why we really have to mentally prepared, emotionally prepared, financially prepared, because it's not easy. Because freelancing is also like doing a business. It's not like a fixed income that you can receive 15 and 30. So freelancing should be, again, takes a lot of accountability, responsibility, being prepared for those shortcomings, and be, for me, emotionally prepared. Really, it's really hurt when you lose clients.
Yeah, no, I'm glad you brought that up because it can be an emotional roller coaster. I learned the hard way. You know, I get big clients, I'm all happy, and then I lose a big client. Now you know, it's a roller coaster. So yeah, you got to be prepared financially and emotionally. I never really thought of that. But let's talk about. So I know you can get clients through Facebook and referrals. Our biggest source of new clients are referrals. But for people that are just starting out, okay, how do you get, because you have a scientific approach to getting clients on LinkedIn? How do you do it?
For newbies, again, when I started, I also doing the thing that the newbie do. I create my own Canva, create a post. Sometimes I'm also having a hard time to create content. I mentioned before Canva and then just a simple quote, time is gold. Next morning, just any motivational. Then sometimes it's a mix of tips on how to do bank reconciliations. But when I see the science of the behavior of the people on LinkedIn, the people on LinkedIn needs, again, I will repeat these three things. People on LinkedIn wants an inspirational, number one. I have a post with my son that I post my new setup on the jungle. It gained 17,000 impression as of today because
Wow.
of that sharing that I've started from using my hotspot that time. I'm way back 2021. Then this is my new setup. And they told on the comment section, I was inspired. So meaning people there looking for some inspiration with the same struggle, right? You. So from the newbies, one tip that I can give you is share your own journey. For example, today, I am a newbie. I've learned something new today. Who among you experienced this kind of feeling? You ask the audience, because at the end of my post, I will always ask, how about you? How's your journey so far? So meaning you're talking
That's
with
how
the,
that's how you're getting engagement.
yeah, because you have a question, but even they're not commenting, that's also their question. How? So meaning you answer their question by putting some content. It's not hard to create content, just be authentic on sharing on what you have been through, because the process is more important than the journey or the peak itself. It's like there's a story like you have to climb the mountain. Actually, the summit, being at the summit or on the top of the mountain, it's not the real story. The story is on the process on how you get there, because it's very hard to get there. So those inspiration story, entertaining and educating. So these three tips I can give you how do I gain followers on LinkedIn.
Yeah, so actually I asked you how you got clients, but that
Yeah,
I'm glad
clients as well and
client.
collaboration.
Okay. So I just want to, you know, repeat this. 2021, you were just starting out, right? Now
Yes,
you have over 22,000 people in your Facebook group, correct?
yes.
Okay. You have what, 3 million followers on LinkedIn now?
No, no, 42, turning 42. Maybe this week, 42.
42,000
Yes,
followers. And how
yes.
many connections?
I think it's a mix. I forget how to it's a total of followers on and connections, 42.
42. Okay. Starting from zero only a couple of years ago.
Yeah, I think 5,000.
Okay.
So, yeah.
I'm jealous. I'm jealous because I'm doing it a lot longer than you, and I don't have even close to that many files. It's going up now because I've actually started, doing what you do.
Yes, now I see you now consistently posting. But yeah,
I hit 10,000 followers about a month ago on LinkedIn. So what is okay, so because we've been talking for an hour now, let's wrap
I
this
hope
up.
they're not bored on our topic. Yeah.
I'm interested. I mean, this is golden nuggets. These are golden nuggets, and these are the actual steps that that we go through. And I went through them too. It was just a lot longer ago, and we didn't have the tools that we have now. We didn't have the internet. Imagine that. If I wanted to go and get a job, I had to get on a train and travel into Manhattan 3 hours round trip just to go on one interview. You could go on multiple interviews
Interview.
today.
Four.
So
4 to 5.
there's nothing stopping you except what Marianne and I think Lou said. We're our own worst enemies. Larry did a thing in Jumpstart in one of our events, and he said, think for a couple of minutes who's the most negative person in your life. And I'm thinking it's my Aunt B. I love her. She's like a sister to me. But every time, I hate doing her tax return because it's always, when am I getting my refund? How come it's so late? And she's just one of those people that there's always the bad side of things. And then Larry said, okay, did you come up with the most negative person? And I'm like, yeah, my Aunt B. And he's like, no, it's you. And I said, you know what? You're right. It's always us, our limiting beliefs. I'm too old. I don't have enough experience. I don't speak the English good enough. For me, I have my own, thing. Oh, I'm gonna fail. I did this again. How many times? And if you don't think it goes through my head, it goes through Larry's head too. Because right after he said that, he goes home, right? And we took a lot of pictures. Now Larry's a big guy, he's like 6'4". He took a picture next to Catherine, who's like and he's looking at the picture and he's like, I look like a monster. That's what he texted me. He's like, I look up like a monster. I said, who's the most negative person in your life, Larry? So we all go through it. I just read something about there was a guy, Edgar R. Murrow. He was like a famous newscaster. When TV first started, he was like the face of news. And he was like impeccable. He could talk, he was like the perfect newscaster. Well, did you know that 3 minutes before each newscast, he would break out in a cold sweat? He was so nervous. And then he would start doing his, okay, I know it, what, because what he would say to himself is, it's not about me. It's not about me. I'm reporting the news, and it's about the people that need to hear this news. So one of the most successful people at the time in on TV would break out in a cold sweat. So that's normal. That's normal. So Marianne, let's wrap this up this way. So now you get
Yes.
you get somebody that needs your help, a potential client, right? How do you
Mhm.
close that?
So yes, good question again. So closing is asking the right questions. At the end of the interview, Joe mentioned you should ask questions. So for me, some of the VA that apply, we give them the tips that you should ask question after the client talk the profile of the company, what they need. So you can ask a question like this: how does the team look like just in case I will be hired? So what is the culture inside? Meaning, micromanaging, or there's a time tracker, or how many teams I'll be joining in just in case I will be hired. So you, at least you know the expectations, and at least by early as now, you know your teammate. You will need some tools, or you can ask what tools you're using, what software you're using. We have any project management to track our progress. So those questions is okay. And I ask the client question, what is your 5-year goal? So sometimes they are also having a hard time to answer that question. So giving that 5-year goal make them realize the importance of hiring you. That's my tip, because I asked that question to my part-time client. So why do you need someone or controller or CFO right now? So 5 years from now, how do you see your Amazon seller business? So I'm seeing myself most automated, blah, blah, blah. So that's the thing that you can ask and then gauge the help. The answer is there. They have to automate. So what is your role as a bookkeeper accountant? How you can help them to automate those process? So again, there's a feeling of connections when they feel you're there to help them on their automations. So then
You're
ask
solving a
question,
problem. You're solving a
yeah,
big problem that all these businesses have.
yeah. So I think that's it. Asking the right
So
questions.
the last thing, which I love what you do, you make it easy for them, right? You say, I only need three things.
Things from you. Yeah. In case you will hire me as a bookkeeper, you know what? If do you have a 1 minute to listen? What is this? So I told them I just need a QuickBooks access, bank statement, and Google Drive. So if I told them the 3 steps, they will immediately, okay, right after this call, I'll give you an access to see how my books looks like. So what's the importance of bank statement? I told them most of the transactions are there. So 90% of the financial transactions are there, income and expenses. And then the client asked me, where's the 10%? It depends. If you have loans, sometimes if you have asset, we have to depreciate some accruals, some interest expense that we didn't capture by bank feeds. So the client doesn't know that. So, oh wow. So sometimes you have to be on the as a driver, or again, the key is the process. Help them to to walk through to the process on how you will get there.
Yeah.
So that's my tip.
You make it easy. You make it simple for them.
Yes.
All right. Thank you, Marion. Thank you, Louis, for sharing your experience. Does anybody have any questions for Coach Yan Yan?
Yes, guys, you can speak in Tagalog. No problem.
Yeah.
Are you
Go ahead.
having fun? It's like a video. Are you having fun? No. Are you learning, guys? Can you type one if we learn a lot from today's session? This is our, I think, very basic but super helpful to you, especially those movies. Yeah. So I hope you write some of my tips. and then apply it
And
immediately.
a lot of ones.
Yeah, fail fast, according to Larry.
Yeah. Does anybody have any
Thank
specific
you.
questions before we close out?
Yeah, anyone? Tagalog or English will do. Regarding the last three tips. Yes, Miss Mavic. What's your
Yes,
question?
it's really, I can relate to you, Coach Jan, regarding these three tips because uh, they don't know, our clients don't know about this. And asking this will guide them, will teach them uh, their deliverables, something like that. So after that, if they understand that, they will be compliant, they will, kumbaga, makikinig sila sa atin. Yun. So thank you, Coach Jan, for these three tips.
Yeah, and just keep something else in mind. American entrepreneurs have no idea what we do. Okay. They just know that they need an account and they need somebody to help them with their taxes, but they don't know how we do it. So what Marianne does sheds light on it and it makes it simple for them because in their minds they're like, if you think about it, let's say, you have to hire an accountant, you have to hire somebody to do your taxes. It's a pretty scary jump because now you're giving somebody, and you have to remember the American tax system is completely different from the Philippines. For us to do our clients' financials, we need access to all of their financial records, not just their receipts. In fact, very few times do we need to see documentation from them. Unless, like Marianne said, if they're buying a piece of equipment, if they have a loan. Otherwise, we're not looking at their receipts. We're looking at all their financial transactions. And it's almost like inviting somebody into your house and saying, just go through my whole house. Okay? That's a scary proposition. We have to make them comfortable. And by giving them specific instructions, you're making them comfortable. It took me years, believe it or not, it took me years to give my own bookkeeping to my mother. Because I didn't want her saying, oh, Joey, why are you spending all this money on Frankie? And why you're spending too much on this? And until I said, you know what? I spend too much time doing my own bookkeeping. I have to give it to my mother. And then guess what happened? She never questioned anything. But it was my mindset. I had to protect my financial information. So just keep that in mind. All right.
There's three questions here, Joe. I think we should answer. As a newbie, what the highlights for the clients to consider through our service? So you have to highlight again. That's why interview is same. Consider the interview as a discovery call. Don't think every interview is you're like grilling yourself. Actually, the one is grilling is the client. So you have to grill the client. So asking the right questions and to highlight is that's why you should ask question. From that question, you should highlight your solution. Right? So how does it go? So just listen, and from those pain points that the client is mentioning, that's why you have to answer what's the current situation right now? What is the urgent needs that need to be addressed? Why you're hiring a bookkeeper? So if we answer, I need someone who can do the bank reconciliation. So that's it. So mention, you highlight, yeah, thank you for mentioning that answer. So yeah, I know how to do bank reconciliation. So, but before we can do the bank reconciliation, client, you have to give me your QuickBooks access, bank statement, and Google Drive. So you should ask questions so you can get the right solution. Is that
You
okay,
want
Russell?
them to talk more than you're talking.
80% talking with the client, 20%
Your
you.
job is to listen. You ask a question and then listen to them. Because when they're answering the question, they're giving you the answer to close them as a client. Does that make sense, Marianne?
Yes.
You want them
Okay.
to talk about their pain.
Pain
And that's
points.
what Marianne is good at. She's good at identifying what's their pain points. All right. Any
Yeah.
other questions for Coach Marianne?
Upfront fee, do we need to open that? Good question. So, but before you come up with the upfront fee, you should get first the client, right? So upfront fee coming normally, if you're really confident enough for the deliverables, it happens when you do have a clean up. So it's not applicable if you have in an agency or direct clients. It's very off or not right to ask upfront fee right away. Am I right? Because you're not sure if you're hired, right? So it upfront fee comes normally when you do have a clean up, because clean up should come from the audit first. So you should ask if you want to audit the books, because auditing is also takes times. It takes 3 to 5 hours if you want to do the audit. It should be paid. So if the clients are willing to pay you upfront, meaning that's the right clients because they're willing to invest. Did I answer your question?
Let me add something to that. What we do is we get access to their information. Okay, I mean, because we have to set them up with a portal because we can't have them like emailing tax documents. Okay, so we asked them, send us your info. We're gonna look at it and then we give them a formal proposal. And with the proposal, they're gonna get an invoice for whatever the startup fees are. Okay, so we don't consider them a client until number one, they've signed the proposal and they paid whatever the upfront fee is. Does that make sense? Did that answer the question, Marianne? Because I think they asked it in Tagalog.
Yeah. It's
Okay.
two different things because it's an accounting firm and as a freelancer, on my point of view, that's my
Okay.
answer. Yeah.
Okay.
We can do separate session for the pricing if you want.
Actually, it just happened that they set me a monthly fee of $500 per month as a beginner, but they doesn't know that I am a beginner. Then they already give me a Google Access Drive. Then they give me a personal email within their company. And at the same time, we're talking about 2 to 3 pieces actually. The first one is reconciliation. Then the other one is to set up a new company account for QuickBooks in Dubai. So I'm just confused because when the last meeting, have a meeting with the direct owner. Then another one is BA here also in the Philippines. So in that case, I can talk to her that they already giving me all the access, meaning I'm already hired, but we don't have yet a contract, and I don't know if I'm going to ask that properly. That's why I'm confused.
Okay. So maybe you should document or send a proposal and then let him sign. Joe told us the steps proposal and then put that you need an upfront fee to ensure that if you do the work, you have to be paid. So again, if he's serious or the client is serious on getting your services, he will agree.
Wait, did she say that she got paid already?
I think not yet.
Okay. I recommend always do you give your clients a contract, Marianne?
Yeah, of course, the agent now in our agency, because there's a question regarding agency, it's very hard to pass on the agency. I'll tell you the reason why. Can I answer that so I can connect it with the process? As an agency owner, we realize that's why there's some agents clients that needs an agency. They also having a hard time to look for a right people. actually again mentioned, Joan, is this doesn't necessarily the skills. They need someone that they're aligned with their culture. For example, we have client that you have to be on EST. It's very hard to work on that shift. So the clients need someone who's really committed on reporting on that time. So the agency is only someone who will filter those candidates that are aligned with their specific requirements and culture requirements. So if you're having a hard time to apply an agency, that's the client requirements, not an agency. Me, we want, of course, to just, hire and give work, be hard. But again, at the end of the day, the client will choose someone who's really aligned with their culture. So it's very hard. They have separate assessment. We have a client, a Canadian client, that took 2 months to do the assessment. They have exam, they have 4 interviews before you will be hired, because the client already experienced, just like us, BA come and go. They will be there for the couple of months. They train already. So meaning they have spent some cost on training, and then suddenly the VA will go. So I hope you understand why some clients hire a VA agency, because they also consume their time looking for the right candidates. Don't blame us. Sorry, I'm an agency owner myself, but that's the reality. So they're having a hard time to look for the right people only, not to give a burden on the hiring process, but someone who's really committed and culture fit. Yeah, I hope it's answered. So don't be sad. You can apply directly to the clients, no problem. As long as you can master the closing techniques, you should not go to agency, because there's a lot of process. Even me, I encounter being in agency, it's the same. You have panel discussion, assessment, but at the end of the day, if you're not fit on the culture of the company, you'll also leave. And it hurts also to the client. They need to be trained, and the resources are available. Their clients is also waiting someone to do their bookkeeping. So it's a domino effect. So that's why it's very hard to apply on an agency. So please understand how agency really works, because even me, I encounter some disengagement because the client's not happy with the VA. They have issues internal. So there's a lot of things that we can control. But the only thing that we can control is our positivity and how to become resilient on every situation. How to bounce back after the disengagement. You should cry 5 minutes and then stand up again and look for the clients. So that's the sad reality of freelancing, business owners, and even in life. I'm not saying as an agency, it happens in our life, right? So yeah, let's cry. I'm about to cry. Yeah.
Yeah. So, Luz, you're gonna ruin my Saturday again. Luz wants to have a meeting with me after the workshop. Okay, Luz.
Okay, that's right. Thank you so much, guys. I hope again you should attend next session next Saturday. And if you have request session, lead generation, LinkedIn profile again, we can do it free again for you, for those who's always attending the Saturday session.
Yeah. So let me, if you've been watching the Facebook group, I've been posting that we're going to be revamping the whole Jumpstart program, because we've asked questions, we've learned a lot about what our members are looking for. So we are starting November 1st. We're going to have a whole new pricing structure. We're going to have some special treats for you, and I'm going to tell you what one of the new benefits are going to be. It's going to be premium members are going to get 50% off any of our existing and future courses. Okay, so if you're gonna be a premium member starting November 1st, you'll get 50% off all of the courses. So that's one of the benefits. There's a lot more, and I'm gonna, as we go through the next couple of weeks, just look in the Facebook group for the announcements, and probably I'll have the rest of the benefits for you for next week. So by November 1st, you'll know exactly what Jumpstart is going to be providing for you. I'm really excited about it. I know Monday night I told some of you what all of the changes are going to be. So stay tuned, folks. Stay tuned. That's all I could say. All right, everyone.
Bye. Happy weekends. Thank you so much.
Okay.
Thanks. See you on Saturday, guys.
Thank
Yes.
you.
God bless you all. Have a great
Bye. Thanks,
weekend.
Bedrock. Thanks, accounting people. Bye.
No picture.
Ay, wala picture? O, picture daw.
Walang
Ano,
picture.
family
Oh,
natin.
Wala in
picture.
church. Wala kasi si
Doon tayo eh. Mandatory.
Sige,
You're gonna
game.
do that, Marianne?
Maybe Luz. Luz, can you do it for me? My
Yeah,
laptop is not.
Sa game. 1, 2, 3, smile. And then, wait, the second page pa.
Di bali nang walang ligo, basta may picture, no?
1, 2, 3, smile.
Tayo eh.
Yan.
Hi, Miss Glance. Ayun pala si Miss Glance. Nagda-drive.
Okay na. Send
Thank
ko
you
lang
so much
sa
for your questions. Sana na-answer namin lahat. See you on Saturday, everyone. Hi,
All right.
bye.
Thank you, everyone. Have a
Bye.
great weekend.